So I reused the color muse again on the interior and the exterior of the back cover, and got some numbers here. Took an average of the interior was 77, 4, and 16 for lab numbers. The exterior was 75, 4, and 17, so I decided to go with 76, 4, and 17 for an average. And when you match these colors, these lab numbers, with the kind of colors you need from the fibers, you end up with, using Photoshop, you end up with 34% tone tan paper, 41% husk, and 25% stone. So these are the number of grams of each that I calculated for the tone tan, husk, and stone. 1.5 grams tone tanned, 1.8 grams husk, and 1.1 grams stone. And these are now in the solution I have here in the pulp mixture, right, in the furnish. This furnish has in it sizing. I used this time methyl cellulose for sizing. I used it at 0.02% concentration. So 0.02% concentration of methyl cellulose got in here. So I ended up adding like 12.5 mils of 1% methyl cellulose to this, right? And then I used calcium carbonate to bring this to an alkaline pH. And I used so sizing and calcium carbonate, and then I used retention aid to get all the colors away from the water and to be attracted to the fiber. And I use formation aid. So this has everything in it now ready to go. So all I want to do is now try a patch and see if this patch is close to 76, 4, and 17. If it is, then we can go ahead and do the leaf casting. All right, let's do the patch. Fingers crossed it'll come out good, right? The data looks light, but I gotta trust the math that we worked with, right? Sorry, I'm gonna bring this to the camera so you guys can see it better. All right, here we go. You see how formation aid makes the fibers pipetable? If you don't use them, and look at the size of the tip here, right? And that all is going through this little tip. So clearly it's doing a good job at emulsifying and making the fibers slippery from each other. They don't stick together that way. They don't give you a hard time in pipetting. So formation aid, guys, use it. Okay, is this enough? Yeah, that's enough. So I have plenty of furnish here. I made 400 mils altogether at 1% concentration of furnish. All right, so we're just gonna put this on top, give it a press, let it sit until it's dry, and then take the lab reading on this. And hopefully the lab readings on this will match up with the lab reading on this. Cool. So it's almost dry. I'm gonna read the lab value on this and then compare them to the lab values of the back cover, right? And the average of the two. So we'll do visual comparison and we'll do lab value comparison and see what we get, right? Apologies, my other light wasn't on. All right. So here we go. So now we're going to use the color muse to find out if the values here are the same as these. All right, so I got at the end, this was 81, 3, and 15. The book was 76, 4, and 17. So the delta E value was this minus this squared plus this minus this squared plus this minus this squared, and then the square root of the whole thing. That gave me an answer of 4. 4 is acceptable. It's not the best value, but it's acceptable, right? It's going to be a little bit on the light side, in my opinion. It's a good match for the exterior, right? So what I'm going to do, guys, here is I'm going to create a template that is made of silicone. This way I can place it under the cover when I do the leaf casting. All right, so what I'm going to do is cut it so that it is exactly the same size as the template I made. Just ensuring everything is lined up before I do the cuts. So here's my fresh romaine. I have Dr. Paul's 60 ml syringe, which I'm going to use to fill in the large areas. Then I have my trusted 1000 microliter pipetter, right? I'm going to use this for the smaller areas. Ready to go. Here they are. This is a pH 8 solution, essentially, with betaine and calcium hydroxide. Okay, I'm going to try to flatten everything. So I need to place the other romaine on top. Flip it over. And spray it again, right? We're ready to go. I'm going to take this over actually. Take it out. No need for it anymore. So I'm giving this a good stir before we start. And I'm going to start right down here first, right in this area. Got rid of some tenguja tissue I had, so but I think we'll be okay without it. And I'm going to start down here, putting in a layer of 2.6 mils here. That's 1 mil. I'm not using any methyl cellulose with this. I have the methyl cellulose in here as a size, and that's what I'm using ultimately, right? So that should be good. That's 2, and then 0.6 is a little less than 1/10 is 600 microliters, right? So we can change this to 600 and go from there, right? That's what we do. And that's it for this area. And then these areas, other areas, just a little bit, like 600 microliters here will be fine. I could actually support this whole thing with a thin layer. Why don't we do that? Just do a thin layer of coating, like 600 microliters here. And this area here is going to get coating from the rest, the 38 mils that will go in here, right? We'll just do a little layer here, like that for now. I have a sponge here that is absorbing any excess, and it's delimiting the pulp, right? Just very thin area, right? Very thin layer. All right, I'm going to switch back to 1000 and do the top, this top area. Right. As we said, 1 mil for here, 1 mil for here, like 1 mil for here. But that's again going to be part of the bigger solution that we're going to be introducing with this. .78 mils is going to go like between here like this, all the way down to here like this, right? Then this area will be filled with, I think, 28 mils, 22 mils from here to here. And there are some areas I need to, which I had Tengu tissue on top, I need to fill with pulp as well. There's one here, a rib, and here. This is 1 mil. Just going to support the whole thing. Just a thin layer here is enough. We don't need much. And we'll go ahead and support this edge as well, right? Some of it goes out, so that's why sometimes you have the art part comes in when you have to gauge and see how much you actually filled the area with pulp versus the outside. Like this is, most of it is outside, right? So you could use some more here. This particular area like this, just to get it filled, so it's not going to be too thin, right? Now we'll do this area here. This area is very little. I'm going to get rid of this Tengu tissue here, and instead do a thin area on the spine just to support it, right? Not much, because this spine here, this edge here is okay. couple of rips here, so you can just a little bit goes a long way in filling the rips. Can do down here quickly. This is supporting the bottom. I'm gonna sit down because I see better when I sit down. This very thin layer, right? This would be like 5 gram weight, probably, like tengujo tissue. This particular area here, right? And now the rest. This is the boundary of our says not bad. I'm going to put here a little thin line of, right. This is going to take 78 mils from here to here, down this way, down this way. That's 78 mils of furnish. So I'm going to start by using Dr. Paul's syringe. Mix really well the furnish really well so we get an even coverage. I'm going to get maybe 60 mils. See if that's possible. Not quite, I got like 55. So 55, I have to go to 78. The rest will go on, have to go on later. So we're gonna go this way. To here, right? And then down. We can go back and forth, covering this area. This here is a tear that you can see it now. There was a tango tissue there that I got rid of. Just need some pulp there to hold it in place. More tear here, so pretty even coverage. So you can see that some areas are a little thin and some areas still need more. So we still have 23 mils to deliver. And I'm going to deliver them to the thinner areas, right? 23 mils. Is that 23? Oops, not sure if you can see it. Let me see it this way. That's 21. That's 22 or so. 22 is okay. We'll do 22 for now. And fill in these thinner areas, right? You have to overlap a little bit so you can get some adherence of the pulp.